When it comes to your inner journey of healing and growth, no matter the method you choose, the vital point is to practice. If you're ready to transform your life and live with clarity, connection, and wholeness, then you're in the right place. Welcome back to The Vital Point. I'm your host, Jonathan Schechter. I'm a breathwork facilitator and integration coach, as well as a human. The goal of this show is to inspire you to take action for yourself, whether you're taking the first step on your journey of healing and self-discovery, or you're already a seasoned traveler. You'll find simple guided practices that you can integrate, as well as interviews with practitioners who are doing the work so that you feel inspired to go and practice, because that's the vital point. Take a deep breath and let's drop in. On today's solo episode, I wanted to share a quick somatic practice with you. This can be especially helpful for grounding if you're feeling dysregulated in your nervous system or just needing a little bit more support during a psychedelic journey. This is a practice from the Somatic Experiencing modality that you can remember by its acronym of SCOPE. SCOPE stands for slow down, connect, orient, pendulate, and engage. And this was something that I learned earlier this year that I've been using with clients, especially in different somatic groups that I'm doing that are teaching foundational somatic skills. And hopefully we can enjoy this nice somatic practice together outside. You might be hearing some of the birds and whatnot in the background. I'm recording this from the retreat center in California. I have a little break on my breathwork retreat that I'm doing. So let's talk about SCOPE. So SCOPE is something that you can use when you're feeling dysregulated, or especially in the aftermath of a traumatic event. I'm going to just talk really briefly about the practice, and then we can go through it together. So again, SCOPE, slowing down. You really want to work on slowing down. We're going to take some steps together in a controlled, slow way. If you can, and you're a place to do so, I'd recommend even taking your shoes and socks off and just walking barefoot, if that's safe. Connect, as in connecting to your body, right? So we want to start slowing down and then connecting to our felt experience. Oftentimes, when we're dysregulated, when we feel frozen, when we have experienced a trauma, we are kind of dissociated. We're not really connected to ourselves. And so getting back into the body is going to be very helpful. Orienting is a practice we've talked about on the show before. It's one way that we can start to orient towards safety. Now, if this is new to you, or you're always in that survival mode, that fight or flight, or even frozen, you might start with orienting externally, orienting to your environment, noticing that in this environment right now, are you safe? And what is helping you to know that? Eventually, we may start to orient within the body, finding support, finding ease, finding little bits of juiciness that let us know that we are okay. Sometimes when we're starting, that might even be 1% less pain, 1% less discomfort, but orienting to safety and to our inner and outer environment. Pendulation is an idea from Somatic Experiencing, the creator Peter Levine, that simply means that we're shifting our attention from areas and experiences of discomfort or unease. We're not feeling safe, and noticing that's not the only thing that we're experiencing. For instance, oftentimes when people come to me and they're like, I'm feeling so anxious, I'll ask them, where do you notice that? And sometimes it feels like it's their entire body. But maybe we can get a little bit more specific and notice that the anxiety is kind of residing in the stomach. And then I might ask them, how are your feet feeling? Do they feel the same as your belly? And when you start to notice that there's a different sensation, that's when we can pendulate, right? So just like the pendulum swings, we're shifting our attention from these different experiences in the body. So we'll go into that a little bit deeper. And then engage. Engagement is with somebody that can support you. Trauma tends to happen when we're alone, or we've been abandoned, or that we're being betrayed sometimes by someone that we should be able to trust. So we want to start to engage with somebody that is going to be supportive and help us to regulate and to come back into connection. So I would definitely recommend, if you're finding this helpful, to find somebody that you can practice this with together. But if you're just listening to this podcast and you're new, you could always try to connect with somebody that you trust, a loved one, a family member, a friend. Pets can be quite calming and engaging for this type of work in a pinch. And you can always reach out to me and set up a one-on-one somatic experiencing session if you'd like to take this further. So even though I would recommend doing this with somebody else in an ideal setting, I think it's still a good practice to know, just in case you don't have access to that in this moment. So that's a little bit about the scope practice. So now let's begin. Assuming, of course, that you're in a place where you can do some exploration, you're not operating any heavy machinery, or in danger if you start to really tune into your felt experience, right? Just a place where you can have a little bit of space. So the first thing to do before we even start is let's just take a few deep breaths in through the nose and letting them go. Take a few more breaths like that. Notice your breath. Let it get deeper. So first, slow. I'm going to invite you to take 10 slow steps, focusing on really feeling your feet on the ground. As slow as it feels comfortable, try to let one foot land completely before you take the next step. And if you're in a place where you can take off your socks and shoes and feel the ground directly connected with your feet, definitely recommend that. Continue to take nice, slow, deep breaths in and out of the nose as we move on to the next step, connection. So here I'm going to invite you to connect with your body, crossing your arms across your chest, tucking your hands into your armpits, crossing your ankles, tucking your chin, simply noticing your breath and the sensations in your body as you connect more fully to the felt experience. Keep breathing. That's it. Notice where there's tension. We just want to connect to the felt experience. Now orienting. A mentor of mine calls orienting taking a visual vacation. We simply want to allow the eyes to start to explore. Let them wander. Let them move and notice what's here. Again, staying slow. What do the eyes see? And I also invite you to notice the sounds that you hear. Any tastes, any smells. What are the felt sensations, especially on the body? Is there air from a fan or the wind? You notice the feeling of your clothes on your body. If you're sitting, noticing the connection between your body and that surface. How does it feel to orient? What lets you know that you are safe here in this moment? And then moving into our pendulation from this orienting. Where do you feel relative ease in your body? And if this is new to you, I invite you to notice the sensation in your feet or that connection supporting your body. Now, noticing where there's tension. You don't have to go right into the tension. Allow yourself to get curious about the size and just breathing around the edges. And now shifting back to ease, to relaxation. If that's not available, that's okay. Where in your body do you feel 1% less uncomfortable? This time, breathing right into it. Fill that space in the body with your breath. Keep breathing. Right into it. Notice if it shifts, if it changes. maybe if this sensation has a color. And now if it feels okay, just allow yourself to shift back to the tension. And just see what happens next. You don't have to go right into it again, just finding the borders or the edges and breathing around it. Stay with your breath. And again, letting yourself shift back to that place of relaxation or ease, or just a little less discomfort. Keep breathing. Staying with curiosity in your breath, in awareness. And notice how you feel. You can stay with this a little bit longer. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Again, this is something that a SE practitioner can really help with. And that's our last step, is the engagement. So ideally, finding someone that is trained in SE or other somatic practices that can really support you. And if that's not available, somebody that you can trust to just be with you, to co-regulate, to just be supportive. It could be a pet, friends, family. So that's the scope practice. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, if you need more support, you could reach out to me. I do somatic integration sessions online and in person if you're in Tucson. And if you're into integrative practices like this, meditation, breathwork, other integration, somatics, I invite you to come join us in the Blue Magic Alchemy school community. It's free to join. www.school.com/bluemagicalchemy is the website. You can get more information there. Again, that's www.school.com/bluemagicalchemy. And if this episode resonated, if you found inspiration or it was helpful, I'd be really, really grateful if you could just take a moment and leave a review or follow the show. It's a simple, cost-free way to help the show to grow. Remember, it's not about the method you choose or the pace at which you travel. The vital point is to consistently show up for yourself and practice. As the saying goes, it's not the destination, but the journey that truly matters. And I'm honored to accompany you on yours. So please don't hesitate to reach out, to connect, and share your journey, the successes and challenges alike. I'm just an email, DM, or review away. Let's journey, grow, and transform together. Thanks again for tuning in. Until the next episode, keep exploring, keep growing, and above all, keep practicing, because that's the vital point.